Hello everyone. This Shabbat we will read in the Torah portion, finishing and completing the book of Bereshit, Genesis, the first book in the Torah, 5 books of Moses. So this is the first one and 4 are left. The book is completed when the family of Jacob, Yaakov, our father, settling in Egypt with his whole family, 70 people in total, living in Egypt, in the land of Goshen, separated from the rest of the Egyptians. They are working in the field, working with animals, mainly. The Egyptians doesn't like the people working with animals. And we separate the families going there. And this is we saying goodbye to our father Yaakov. He's saying goodbye to his special son Yosef and to the rest of the children. Every son getting his own personal blessings. And then in the end of the parasha, Yosef is also leaving his family, saying goodbye, passing away. And they all, Yaakov and Yosef, both of them before their passing, they both have special requests. Yaakov have a special request from Yosef that he will swear, meaning that he will do anything that he can, and even if it means to go against Paro, but to do everything that he can to bury his father in the land of Israel, in the place of his fathers. And Yosef asking his brothers to promise him to take him with them to the land of Israel when all the Jewish family will go out from Egypt. So basically, Yaakov did not want to stay in Egypt, and Yosef said, please take me with you when you're going out. And we know that one of the first responsibilities of Moshe, when Pharaoh told the Jewish people that they can go out from Egypt, our leader Moshe went and took the bones of Yosef with him to the land of Israel, and he was buried in Shechem, in the city that his father in our parasha telling him that this would be your place. And it's there until today, the tomb of Yosef, where Jewish people can go, and there is the conflict all the time, Jewish people and Arabs. Now, why Yosef did not feel the urge of Yaakov to go out? And Yaakov not only felt the urge to ask Yosef to take him immediately out, he also made Yosef to swear. Meaning, we find in our parasha something that it's a bit strange, that Yosef telling his father, clearly, I will do what you ask. And then Yaakov said, please swear to me that you will do it. After Yosef promising that he will do it. So Yosef swears. Why Yaakov need to hear Yosef swear it? And it's not enough that Yosef, the king, telling his father, I will do it. And there is one explanation that it's very common, that when Yosef, after, told Paro, I'm going to visit the land of Canaan to bury my father, his father, Pharaoh told Yosef, I am not letting you go, we need you here. So the swearing helped. Why it helped? Because the Midrash said that when Yosef came to Pharaoh, so Pharaoh was known to be a very, very special person, very smart, very knowledgeable. And he knew 70 languages. And Yosef also knew so many languages. And there was one language that Yosef knew and Pharaoh didn't know. So Yosef swore to Pharaoh not to tell anyone. So when Yosef told Pharaoh, I swore to my father, and when you asking me to break my promise to my father, I can break my promise also to you. So that helped. This is what the Midrash said. And it's very known. It's brought in Rashi. But there is additional meaning. We have to understand why it was so important to Yaakov that Yosef will swear. Basically, in general, the difference between promising and swearing something, if I'm telling I will do something, it means that when the situation will come, I will remember what I did, what I said that I will do, and I will do it. This is promising. In the Torah, there is additional meaning to swearing. To swear something means that I took upon myself this mission, and it's on my shoulders all the time until it's done. If I'm swearing that I will do something, meaning I'm always on my way to do it. It's always in my head. Because the swearing connecting between me and the mission forever. It's not only that when the mission will come, I will do as I said. No. There is this constant connection between what I said that I will do and me all the time. This is the meaning of swearing. So Yaakov made Yosef to be connected to this mission and to this situation of burying Yaakov outside Egypt in Israel. And Yosef himself did not choose the same thing for himself. He chose to stay in Egypt after he passed away. Meaning, Yaakov wanted to connect Yosef to something that he himself would not do. And what is the explanation to all of this? Yosef and Yaakov were both leaders of Jewish nation. In the same time, Yosef was the physical leader. He gave food. He managed to organize the situation in physical life. And not only that, that was his mission from beginning, as we know that Yosef, as a kid, dreamed those dreams that started the process that he will be sold to a slave, to be a slave, and then become a prisoner, and then become the king, and then all the family will come. And what he dreamed that he is the king, meaning that was his life mission. And Yaakov was a spiritual leader, the spiritual father of Jewish nation. Yaakov, he's our perfect father, that combining the advantages of Abraham and of Yitzchak, he representing truth, he representing the spiritual, is spiritually alive until now, as the children still continue living in his ways. So Yaakov and Yosef were both representing leaders of Jewish nation, but in a different ways. Yosef, as a physical leader, he thought that it's best to him and also for his father to stay in Egypt. Why? Because they both knew the promise that God made to Abraham, that Jewish people will be foreigners in a land that's not belong to them, and they will be suffering, and then they will go out. So they both seek way to help their grandchildren and the Jewish nation. So Yosef thought, we will need to stay with them. That is our power. to stay and to show them that we are here with them. And even though we are in heaven, we praying for them and they will succeed and they will go out. That's what Yosef thought. Yaakov looked at it in a different direction because spiritually it was different. Spiritually, Yaakov is not connected to slavery. He's not connected to exile. Yaakov is representing the righteous person that doesn't feel the pressure, doesn't feel the distractions that distracting a Jew to be disconnected from God in heavens. So he doesn't need to stay. In his view, he is not connected to the situation. Yosef is more connected to the situation. He's feeling the needs, the physical needs of the Jew. So Yosef doing his part and Yaakov doing his part. Yosef telling the Jewish nation, leave me here, and he's adding a promise. I will be with you. I will be here. Every time that you feel some difficulty, go to my tomb. No problem. And not only that, Yosef is adding, and you will take me with you. Meaning, we will go out, you will go out, and we will go out together. This is what Yosef promising the Jewish nation. Yaakov promising a different promise. Yaakov is not disconnecting from the situation. He's doing the opposite. Yaakov himself is disconnected from exile. He representing high level of spirituality that is never going to be mixed with the Egyptians. There was always this pintali, the Jewish point that will stay separate, that will stay different. And from this Jewish point, that was the key points that made the Jewish nation different from the Egyptians, living in Egypt for 200 years. This is what Yaakov representing, this point, this separate point. But Yaakov is not staying separate. He is swearing, made a swear. Yosef, please not only promise that you will take me out, because if I'm going out, I'm staying separate. Swear to me that you will go out. Meaning the Jewish nation made a swear that we will always remember that our Father is waiting for us outside. It will stay constantly in our head that we have our Father waiting for us in the land of Israel. It's not only that we have Yosef here, that he is with us, giving us strength, giving us powers, and praying for us here in Egypt during this time. And not only that, he will go out with us out. It's much more than that. We have also our Father praying for us in the land of Israel. And we are connected constantly because we buried him there with a swear. We swore that we will bury our Father outside. And he is outside, staying special, staying different in the land of Israel, not connected to the Egyptians' exile. You know that the exile was not only physical, it was also cultural, it was also mind exile. The intellect of the Jewish nation was mixed, was bad. But always one point stayed alive, the point of Jewishness. And who represented that point? Yaakov, staying in Israel, but still connected to the Jewish people in Egypt by this swear. So we need to know that Jewish leaders, the leaders of our nation, they are not just in a physical way to give advice. They are not just to guide the halachic law. They are not just to set the direction of the Jewish nation. Of course, it's all part of their mission, but it's also the place that they are in. They are praying every moment that they can. They're praying for all the nation, and the place that they are in represent the dedication of them. As we found about Moshe, that Moshe stayed, did not enter to the land of Israel, and even we don't know where he's buried. He is buried in the desert with his nation, his generation. Why? Because a Jewish leader is not leaving his people. So we need to understand that we read a story in the Torah, it's not only a discussion. It's also the foundations of Jewish nation is inside the text. And if we look closely, we can find very, very interesting things. Shabbat Shalom, and have a great week.